Hello there, this is Ellina Nickell's Travel Mysteries from historic Sandon, British Columbia. Beautiful Sandon, horses and mules played an invaluable role in the development of Sandon and the mines in the 1890s. And this is a cat house. We will check out a few museums today in Sandon. After having great Vitus waffles, so now we're ready to explore. This was old City Hall in Sandon. Oh, welcome to Sandon. This
Yes,
is
welcome.
Garrett. He's a tour information guide. Would you please tell us just a little bit of history and...
Yeah, so to summarize it, so they're all mining silver here. That was a big industry. Around 1891 to 1910 is when the bulk of the mining happened here in Sandon. So this is a little piece of Ellina right here. A few ore samples I collected from an area nearby. It's a mix of silver, lead, and zinc, probably about 70% silver, maybe 20 to 30, or sorry, 70% lead, about 20 to 30% silver, and then the rest is zinc. Small amount of zinc in this stuff. There's it oxidizes when it sits on the surface long enough, and then when you crack it open, looks nice and shiny on the inside. So in 1892, a big 125-ton boulder of pure Ellina was discovered up Sandon Creek. So that is actually behind the Silversmith Powerhouse, right about a kilometer or two up. So in 1892, a 125-ton boulder of Ellina was discovered up Sandon Creek, probably about 1 or 2 kilometers past the Silversmith generating station that you can see here operating today. Since 1897, there was silver discovered on Payne Mountain on the other side of the valley, but it wasn't until the following year when it was discovered on this side here. So anyway, Payne Mountain is the one behind me, way up in front of the city hall. So then the following year, this boulder was discovered. These guys started talking about it at a local hot spring camp. From there, word started spreading around the entire world. This is what kicked off the whole silver rush in this silvery Slocan region. So in 1894, the railways were completed. So you have the K&S line running at the bottom of Payne Mountain. Then the Canadian Pacific line is on the other side of the valley. And this would be the side of Idaho Peak. Those were completed in 1894 within a day of each other. And then in 1895, the town really started to pop up. Once you got your railway in, you're able to bring in much heavier equipment to assist with construction and logging and mining, of course. So this is 1 year after this photo, 1896. This is Bartlett's pack train downtown Sandon. See, horses were a very important commodity here at the time as well. And then this is downtown 1897, kind of at its peak. Had around 5,000 people living here in the valley bottom. And then on a Saturday night after work, all the miners would come down from their bunkhouses, bring the population anywhere between 9,000 to 10,000 people. So it was a real party town. Lots going on here. And you had Canada's first fully electrified city, so if you wanted electricity, you could get it. Not everybody did, however, the option was there. Of course, electricity was very state-of-the-art technology at the time.
And this is the lamp.
Carbon arc electric street lamp.
So this was the main electric city in Canada.
Essentially, yeah. It was actually going to be the capital of BC, or British Columbia, but that lost to Victoria by a small margin. Once they figured out that a valley up in the mountains like this is kind of a terrible spot to put a city. We had a big fire in 1900, so that was a really big dent to the town's local economy. This right here is a horse barn. Nobody really knows how the fire started. It started about 2 in the morning. So once there was firefighting infrastructure in place. However, once the people there trying to fight the fire discovered that they were unable to save the town, they ended up saving the horses. Very important thing to have here in town. 6 years after the fire, this view here, so buildings are starting to pop up again. They built everything kind of smaller, more spaced out, so it'd be easier to fight fires. Maybe they improved their firefighting infrastructure as well. Another view 60 days, and then this here is a city hall in 1901, so it's a building we're inside right now. One of the last surviving buildings of Sandon. And you can even see the boardwalk here. They ran the creek underneath Main Street. 2 main reasons for that was, one of them was for increased available floor space in a narrow valley. The second reason was for It's kind of the latest technology in terms of sewage disposal. So they ran all their sewer lines into this flume and then washed out at the end of town. The idea behind that was if there was going to be any disease present in the sewage, it would be flushed out of town and wouldn't have the chance to infect anybody.
That was a good idea at the time.
Yeah, they did things a little differently back then. That's the view of Sandon in 1905. The decline's kind of starting at this point. The mines are running dry, silver prices going down. One of the main reasons why silver prices went down after this period was due to the sheer volume mined in such a short period of time. Of course, you increase the supply. Demand probably dropped as well, but then the price drops when you increase supply so much. So, it was also used as a Japanese internment camp in the Second World War. So in this photo, the BC Securities Commission was clearing out old buildings, getting things ready for people to live in them and keep the Japanese here, unfortunately. Quite an interesting part of our history that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my video about New Denver and so on. That was quite sad. Especially those people, they were not guilty of anything.
Yeah, exactly. They're just trying to live, and then all of a sudden the government puts them in spots. Not the first time Canada has assimilated different populations and cultures. We don't talk about that in the outside world because Canada is a perfect place.
Yeah, it have to be known because this is a part of our history and democracy, and people need to know, and that's why they build the centers like that about it and so on. So that's what we was kind of saying.
So then, of course,
and then
after the Second World War, the Japanese left Sandon. The silver industry was pretty much dead at this point. The last of the silver mining happened in 1993. So you will pass a big mill on the side of the road. That one, they stopped producing in 1992 and they closed down in 1993. Since then, it's changed hands between a few different companies that claim they're exploring, but I could tell you otherwise. Maybe not get into detail in this video about that, but it's an interesting thing to check out.
And then there was a big flood.
Yeah, 1955, that was pretty much the final nail in the coffin for Sandon.
Destroyed the town and so on. But now the brave people here are restoring town, preserving our history, Canadian history.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for your interview and for your preserving the history.
And thanks for coming and thanks for checking it out.
Thanks a lot. And this is Carpenter Creek, the one which destroyed the town in the past. Carpenter was one of the founders of the town. This wooden part was part of the boardwalk which creek washed away. And somebody is building a hot tub. And this is Hastings Express. And Canadian trolley buses in different cities. This is what left of boardwalk. We are going to the museum. The creek is very noisy. This is Rico Avenue 1898. And this is what was here at the time. And this is now. And this is Galena ore. And this is very heavy, lots of lead in it. And the drill. And this is a beautiful museum. A very knowledgeable guide. This is where we were yesterday on the buggy.
Yes, you were just around the corner and lower down.
And also there was in the past trestles here. They're not there anymore, but we were in the buggy right nearby.
Yeah, you were right on the other side of this trestle.
This lamp is absolutely amazing. This city was electrified and has more electric light than Vancouver at the time. The amazing part of this is This is carbon arc electric street lights, which is, it's not gas, it's carbon arc. And this is the bug, the lantern made with a large candle. They used it in the mines. And sometimes horses had it. Rich history of mining here. And unions were organized and they came to mines. They even have their own special hall and so on to demand 8 hours working day. And this union came to Canada in 1895. People from Sandon fought in World War I, and some of them died, were killed in the war. And these are snowshoes. Valley of the Ghosts. The valley between Three Forks and Castle is known as Valley of the Ghosts for many ghost towns which remained there until 1980s. And this was an avalanche. Это была лавина. So people came, built the town, chopped the trees, and started to be avalanches. This is what happens when you do this. And this is cool. My favorite ketchup, Heinz. And some women has amazingly long hair. Oh, I found the musketeer. Gambling then. And this cool machinery is for cutting grass apparently. And this is explaining why the railroad is that wide. Railroads, space shuttles are only wide as 2 horses' butts. We went to spooky basement. It says beware of ghosts. Typical miner cabin. The surprising fact is that the bedding was nailed down and stayed nailed down on the corners. And there they ended up. Eventually, we will come into the mine. Beware of ghosts. Miner is here. This is what the greed, feel for adventure, and the wishes to build something and accomplish something can achieve. So this is Sandon in about 1894, and in 3 years this is how it looks like, booming town. And these amazing photographs were taken by this man, Truman. That is why we can see the old town as it is. This is old steam engine, and the funny part is that this is right beside it, electric vehicle charging station. This look like old safes. Wow, this is amazing. This is wooden pipes. This is how they build. This is Silversmith Powerhouse, hydroelectric station which actually runs without a dam. This is antique power generating station. Welcome to Little Niagara. And a couple of original houses. We had rain earlier, so I couldn't film. I wanted to tell more about the Silversmith hydroelectric station. This is a Western Canada oldest continuously operating plant. What is important about it that it produces electricity. It's kind of a hydroelectric power plant, but it's not the dam, because when people talk about hydroelectric plants, they're talking about dams. This is not. How it operates, basically the water from the creek getting through the wooden pipes, and then it dropped from the height, and it's creating certain big amount of pressure, and that's what produces, it uses generator, which was very noisy one I showed you. I couldn't quite explain it when I was there. Basically, that generator was made by Tesla when they were switching from to the alternative current from direct current. It was built in 1905 and it was installed in 1916 here, and that is why this place became the most electrified city in Canada at the time. And also important to know about that continuously operating power plant, that the parts in the machinery of Tesla, they never were changed. Everything is original, and nothing was changed. No ball bearings, nothing, because the shaft is very still. It's mounted that way that nothing moves basically, and that is why it's still all original. This was very cool and very impressive to know. And this power plant could produce electricity enough to power 400 homes. Thank you for coming with us into amazing British Columbia town Sandon, which is rich of history, not only Canadian history, but British Columbia history. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. See you later.